teachers, we wanted to follow up our competencies reporting how-to with a video to walk you through the same steps, letting you know how to report your competencies for your pre-K, kindergarten, or first grade students this first 9 weeks. After signing into Aries, you're going to look at your navigation tree on the left-hand side for standards-based grades. Standards-based grades in Aries is the same thing as competencies in Keller ISD. If for some reason you don't see that page on the left, you can search for it and it should pop up for you. Once you've opened up standards-based grades, the title you'll see at the top is Standards Based by Teacher. The default view that Aries opens up to is called View by Student. There's another view called View by Standard. So this gives you two ways to enter your marks for competencies. You can enter marks by student, and that's the view that you default to when you open up standards-based grades, or you can give your marks by standard. One of the pluses for giving your marks by standard is that you can mass assign their values and change only your exceptions. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. For right now, let's look at View by Student. When you open up your standards-based grades, your first student should be right here in the student drop-down menu. To see the remainder of your students, you should be able to click the drop-down and navigate through the students that you need to give grades to, or marks to, excuse me. When you're ready to assign marks for the marking period that you're on, you can scroll down to the standards-based grades and just make a note that you're in the correct grade level. And you should be able to give marks starting with the classroom-based standards or competencies. So if I'm giving marks by individual, I'm going to use my assessment data and mark each of these competencies. As I continue down the list, I'll go through each of the competencies for this grading period. At the bottom, I will find my citizenship grades or my citizenship marks. Again, I can drop down this menu and choose the mark that's correct for this student. You'll notice that some competencies do not have a drop-down menu, and that means that they are not assessed during this marking period or 9 weeks. So now that we've looked at giving marks by student, let's look at giving marks by standard. If I click on View by Standard at the top, I'm going to be pushed into a different window where I see my class list, and my drop-down has changed from students to competencies. If I click through this list, I'll see my competencies listed as before, again with citizenship at the bottom. I can begin with my first competency. You'll notice that this student already has a level that's been given to them because I did that individually on the other page. And now I can mass add marks. So if I want to choose this same mark for every student, and I'm going to override the mark I had already given individually, I can click the mark and click OK. And every student now has the same mark, and I can go and choose to change only exceptions that are needed. Once you feel like you've given all of your marks for all of your competencies for the grading period, I need you to click a different button for me. And this button's called View Missing Marks. And this button can be found on the View by Standard page or the View by Student page. When I click View Missing Marks, I'm able to see what marks I may have left out for a certain student or for the 9 weeks overall. So if you'll take a second to do this before notifying the person on your campus that your grades are completed or your standards or competencies have been done, just to make sure that you've marked every competency that you needed to for that 9 weeks. To leave the missing marks page, I either choose View by Standard or View by Student. I'm going to return to the View by Student page to let you know one other thing that you can add to your students' report cards. On the View by Student page, I have the option to leave pre-worded comments for my students and parents, or to actually input my own comments. If I choose to leave a pre-worded comment, I can drop down this list, choose the comment, and choose the word insert, and that comment will be on this student's report card. I can also come up to the comment box and type comments about the students. I don't have a character limit in this box, so I can add as many characters as I would like. However, as the program puts the competencies and comments into the PDF version of the report card, it will shrink the text as necessary to fit into the comment box. So the more that you write here, the smaller the font size will be for your parents and students looking at it from the PDF version. So once all of your competencies for the first 9 weeks are marked and any comments that you want to give are added to the View by Student view for each student, you have completed your report cards for this 9 weeks. Thank you.